Hello and welcome to Dinis Guarda YouTube podcast show. And we continue profiling global personalities. And this time I'm very excited to be here in the IBM Tech Exchange Summit EMEA 2024 in Barcelona, where we profiling personalities in tech and companies that are actually pushing the boundaries of technology and especially the borders with AI, data, a lot of different elements. I'm quite excited to profile today the CTO of TUATARA. And TUATARA, the name it has a fantastic meaning and metaphorical capacities. But TUATARA is a company that has been working in solutions for integrating business process, enterprise solutions and transformation, and enterprise and AI, and the application architecture that can be used by businesses. Is a partner of IBM, and I'm quite excited to profile them and to understand how they manage their different operations. So Tomasz Kostrzab, you're the CTO. I think I don't know if I spell it wrong.
It's fine. It's fine.
Thank you. So Tomasz, you are the CTO of TUATARA.
Yes.
So let's start first a bit about your background in terms of technology and how do you arrive to this position, and as well.
Okay. Basically, I'm with the company from the very beginning. So around 2014, 2015, this is the time when the company was established. And my background is generally is around B2B enterprises and applying IT into those enterprises. From many years, we are doing business transformations for big companies like telco, insurance, banking sectors. We are helping them to adapt to the changing world. And as we can see, the world is not stopping. It's moving us very fast and very faster, I would say, even into the future. So we are trying to help our customers to adapt to the changing world.
So tell us about TUATARA. So how did you start the company, and what are the main focus of TUATARA and some of the services you are delivering?
So as I said, the company was started around 2015, and from the very beginning, the idea was to combine business solutions, let's say, from different areas, digital landscape, so UX, UI design, combined with development of the application and applying machine learning, applying AI technologies as part of it. Over the time, we managed to develop as well our own products. One of which is Actionbot, but we have another product around the finance tech landscape, which is called Finting. We are trying to, first of all, deliver end-to-end experience to our customers. By end-to-end, I mean we can start from the consulting, from analysis of the needs of the customers, and then finishing on deep integration with backend application, billing, CRM systems that we all know. And over the time, we are trying to adapt new technologies as part of these transformations for our customers.
TUATARA as a methodology and the metaphorical meaning. Tell us about that, and I think it's quite important for the tech world.
Yes, I think I've already mentioned the word adopt, and the TUATARA, the name is coming actually from New Zealand lizard, and the two very important thing about this lizard is that it's one of the oldest lizards that still survive in the current world, and it managed to be still with us, let's say, because its capabilities to adapt to the changing world, adapt to the changing environment, adapt to the changing nature. And this is actually very common for IT, I believe, right? If we just will move back, it's so much different what was a few years back and what we are seeing right now. The word AI, I think, recently is being said so many times and in so many contexts that it's really hard to count this even, but this is another example how the IT is changing the world, and not only the world, it's changing the IT internally as well, it's changing the companies, and we need to adapt to it. The second thing about this lizard is that it has like a third eye, so it can see beyond what normal lizards can, or even animals can see. And this is somehow, the name was developed 8 years back, or even 10 years back, but it's still very new, very fresh, I would say, right? That we still need to adopt, and we still need to see beyond what normal technologies can give to us. And with this third eye, with analytics, with AI, this is our third eye that we are trying to adopt at our customers.
Let's look at the third eye. So as a company that builds IP and products and as well adapts to the clients, you drive innovations via AI, and you have a kind of an interesting architecture that looks all the different ecosystems. So tell us a bit, how do you put together the architecture in terms of AI and data, and how you look at this? You mentioned the financial sector, you mentioned probably retail and a lot of other sectors. A couple of case studies how you handle some
Sure.
of this AI
So,
drive.
One of the important things, you need to look on the architecture from different angles perspective. First of all, you have everything what end customer sees, right? So we have customer experience, we have we have user experience, user design, and all these things. But beyond this, there is lots of other things like security, like machine learning models that we are using over there, like integration, which is still very important, various non-functional requirements that we need to cover during the project implementation and delivery. And we need to understand this really interesting from one point of view, but challenging ecosystem that we can see at our customers. Those are large enterprises that need to think about lots of different things and aspects that I've mentioned, right? So this is crucial for us, and this is something that I think we try to make kind of distinct from other companies or vendors, not to deliver only part of the solution, but deliver end-to-end solution for the customer and to cover all the aspects that are important for them.
As a company that has been working in AI, you mentioned almost for 10 years, you've been going through a lot of changes. So you are as well managing the partner of IBM.
Yes.
And you actually are a former employee of IBM in terms of CVA. So how that partnership started, and I think as well how that nurtured your roadmap.
Yes, we are working with IBM almost from the very beginning, and I would mention over here two aspects of this cooperation. One aspect is related to the services. We are providing, of course, services on top of the IBM products, but what is, I think, important even for us as well, we are developing our own solutions based on the IBM products, right? So one of the good examples of this kind of implementation and collaboration with IBM is Actionbot. This is a solution built on top of the IBM Watson, and we have a really good examples where this cooperation was great for us and was beneficial for our customer. So why IBM? Basically, especially for embedded IBM solution, we took three factors as part of, let's say, investigation, what we can do with the technology. When we are creating the Actionbot, we wanted to have a solution that will be open. By open, I mean will be easy for us to customize, to extend this to the needs that we have, to go a little bit beyond the core capabilities, to integrate with our ideas and extend it with our ideas. So the openness of the solution was very important, and that was one of the factors. The second thing was security. As we know, IBM is here a leader over here when it comes to the enterprise solution. From the almost very beginning of IBM, IBM maybe it goes beyond, of course, when it comes to the innovations, but when it comes to taking privacy, security, it's a leader as well. And the third thing that was important for us was a business model. Again, very flexible collaboration with IBM, different models that we can adopt for different customers give us advantage over other companies in the market.
Fantastic, and I think it's interesting the way you combine security and the different layers. In terms of, you mentioned IBM watsonx, and as well you mentioned your own chat. Tell us that case study in particular, because it's quite interesting how it works, your chat spot, and as well what are the uniqueness and how you cross over with IBM.
Sure.
What's
So
next?
I can always point to our website to learn about several use cases, but I think we can mention one developed for Generali. This is one of the biggest insurance company in the world, as we know, and we managed over a few weeks to deliver the fully solution that was deployed and is working till now at the customer website. That was after 1 month. The customer came and they said, we managed to double or triple even number of conversations that we end with the customers, because most of them the chatbot is able to handle and response to the queries that we have. So instead of using the people that were able to respond 20, 30 queries during the day, they were able to respond 200, 300 at the same time. Of course, we still have a possibility to move the conversation to the real human, because in some edge cases, it doesn't make sense actually to automate them. So we still combine in a kind of hybrid way automation with support from the customer agent, right? And right now we are working with the same customer on the new opportunities, automation, and other channels like mailbots, queries that are going through mails that can be analyzed, replied, and even generated. The email response to the customer can be automatically generated using LLMs, right? Because using these capabilities, we can get the information from the databases. So here is this actionability that we are adding to the regular LLMs, I would say, and generate a proper response to the customer.
And how do you integrate the IBM watsonx with your own chat and all the data processing?
That was kind of easy because, as I said, one of the reasons why we choose IBM at the very beginning was open ecosystem, right? We have APIs. We have tools that allows us to integrate this with our, let's say, pipeline of processing, right? So whenever we need, we can inject, let's say, the IBM technology into the processing pipeline that we have and categorize, recognize entities, understand documents, understand the image. With IBM technology, this is possible. And I think what is different from other vendors, we can do it on-prem as well, right? So maybe not everybody knows, but basically IBM is definitely a leader when it comes to the hybrid environments, right? We can deploy in cloud, we can deploy it on-prem, we can mix and combine those models, and this is the benefit that, especially at the big customers, this is really important. There are regulations that are coming into the market, and the customers wants to have full control over their data, full control over the processing of their data. So in some cases, when we are touching sensitive information, it's better to keep it as part of the customer premises, but still use cloud whenever it's possible. So this hybrid approach, I think, is very beneficial, and I think that might be kind of the future, especially for the enterprises.
Yeah, that is one thing that I think for everyone building this technology is more and more important, because you cannot be stuck in one ecosystem.
Especially, yeah, definitely. It gives you as well a freedom a little bit to move from one cloud to another cloud, right? So we all know that in some cases it's really important.
2023 brought the AI generative AI revolution, and it's still going and going. So you guys have been working in NLP, large language models, a lot of different things, and automation. So how do you see the generative AI combined in what you're doing? So is it enabling? It's challenging the work.
It's enabling, definitely. It's extending the capabilities that we had with much even broader and faster way of automation, right? We don't see this as a competitive. It's definitely something that extends the capabilities that we were building during the, let's say, years before 2023. And we can definitely see that still there is we are talking about ages, so the fully automated bots or algorithms that are able to resolve the task, but this is still in front of us, definitely. Right now the LLMs and generative AI is capable to do quite a lot of different things, but there are challenges as well, right? People get used to that. You can, for example, very easily test your solution. When we are talking about the software, we have always those phases, right? We develop, we test, we roll out, right? Over here, the test is very challenging, and we can see in the market, I don't want to name the companies that went too fast a little bit sometimes, right? They try to deliver those kind of solution directly to the end customer. And as we can see in the social medias, especially, and there are challenging, let's say, use cases that we need to think about. We know about the hallucination. We know about, that the generative AI is really try to agree with the human too much sometimes. So we need to think how to solve those solutions. We are working as well as around it, but definitely. The answer to your question is that it's extension of the capabilities that we had, and it's beneficial, I think, for the enterprises at the end as well. But still, a lot of work.
Yes. So one of the things that in TUATARA that you guys do that is quite interesting is that you leverage, and I'm talking about one of your infographics that we'll display in the production. So you have a strategy for growth, you have the risk and operations, the customer, the product, technology, and the domains. So explain a bit, how do you combine the architecture? Because I think for people in my channel in particular, there's a lot of technical people, and especially for the IBM partner ecosystem. How can you combine this, and what is your experience? Because you mentioned Generali, of course, one of the biggest insurance companies in the world, the case study where you were quite successful in doing one thing that created a lot of new revenues and new engagement. But a lot of people are struggling to understand all the combining of the elements. It's like an orchestra.
Yeah.
You have to put them all play together, otherwise you have some cacophony system. So any case study that you want to explain, especially in your methodology and how you put together all these elements?
As I was starting to mention at the beginning, we need to understand what is the real, let's say, issue. What I can see over the time, and I'm working in the IT business for more than 20 years, is that the IT companies especially, they are trying to solve the issue too fast, which means that without really knowing the source of the issue, they're trying to solve it, right? And that fails many times. So first of all, understand what your customer requires, and then build a solution for them, because there is definitely not one solution that will fit all of the cases, right? And so you need to definitely, again, adopt to it. From the architecture perspective, really well-defined enterprise model for your solution that fits the customer, let's say enterprise architecture, is a key. Very often, especially smaller or startups, they don't understand that they need to a little bit adopt to huge ecosystem that those companies that I was mentioning, they do have already, right? They need to follow a little bit their pattern, their ideas, their current state. I'm always in the favor of, extension of the current architecture than big boom solutions that are changing everything. So with our solution, we need to understand how it match. As part of our products, we have different components. For example, let's say order processing or task management, but some customers, they do have components like that, so we integrate with them instead of let's say bringing our own. It just depends. So the adaptation is very important, and I think the thing that I mentioned, possibility to deploy the solution in the cloud, hybrid, on-prem, is another big factor that we have right now. Very often the discussion, right? How the specific companies is going with this one. In most cases, the cloud deployments is definitely something that requires much more attention, I would say, because we need to verify different regulations that are in the market. If we talking about the finance sector, it's very regulated. When we talk about the telco sector that we are working on, it's not that regulated, so the freedom over there is a little bit different. So this is how we try to approach it.
Very wise. And so one last question, and I appreciate you being very sharp on all the questions. So we're going through a lot of challenges, and of course the velocity, I think it's probably the element that is disrupting everything, but at the same time, like you said, there's a lot of opportunities, and you are very practical and pragmatic on this. So as a company that is building a lot of, like I said, multiple cases, adapting to multiple clients, multiple processes, what would be the things that you want to keep highlighting and focus going forward? And how you see for the IBM ecosystem and the other partners around the world that want to learn with you guys, how can they work in thinking about solving problems, but as well moving forward with challenges?
One thing is definitely important. Keep it open. Let's say I always try to architect solutions that are open for a change. Let's say, right? We talk about a lot about adoption and a change, and having open, not very closed solution that can be flexible and adapt to the changing environment and needs. It's very important. We are not building the solution for a month. So we are not, sorry to all marketers, guys, but we are not building, one pager for the event. We are usually building a solution that needs to survive years, right? Not only a few days. So we need to be prepared for it, right? And if we have a solution that is not a big black box, that it's really hard to manage over the time, but the solution that is split into well-defined components, then we are getting this freedom. We can adopt the solution, change, and extend it over the time. And then new technology is not an issue for us, but it's like something that it can extend our capabilities. And this is how we are trying to, let's say, survive in this very dynamic and growing markets.
I would say striving. It's very wise. Well, thank you so much, Tomasz. It's really impressive. Congratulations to the work you guys have been doing, and keep it going.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you.
My pleasure.
Pleasure to discuss. Thank you.